This is Matt for Into Boxing. I'm delighted to catch up with Harlem Eubank. Harlem, we didn't get a chance to catch up the other night, but that's because your fight ended in a dramatic way. Talk to me first off. How are you feeling? It was a strange fight. I felt like you were in control, but he obviously wanted a way out of there, and he got it in the end, sadly by DQ. But you got the victory.
That's it. I think it was a strong performance against a Mexican dude that not many people at the stage I'm at in my career would opt for, and I took that on 2 weeks' notice. And I gave him a boxing lesson in there, and I was boxing cleanly, and taking every round and frustrating him. And he decided to go outside of the boxing rule set and strike me multiple times on 3 different occasions. After the referee said break and step back, and I stepped back, and he landed the cheap shots. I recovered and came back to dominate him, and then he decided to do it again, and the referee didn't really take hold of the fight, but he addressed it after the 3rd occasion and cut the fight short in round 9.
Now, nobody wants to see a fight ending by DQ, but it gets to the point where that can cost you a fight if nothing's done properly, because obviously you took the time to recover very wisely. You didn't just jump back in. But how hurt were you? Because a lot of fighters would get up and be that macho guy who's like, no, I'm okay, let's just go straight back in. But then that could have resulted in him putting it on you while you were hurt. How badly hurt were you after that second punch landed on the first one?
Yeah, I felt I was good. I was just, I knew what was going on, and I was just taking my time to recoup. I knew that his tactics was to try and get a cheap shot and then maybe rush in after the, hoping that I go back straight to it and rush in when I'm recouping from the cheap shots and try and end the fight that way. But I took my time, and when I went back at him, I was fully recovered and stuck it to him.
The fight itself, not many people, you've just mentioned there, and I agree, would take that fight. They wouldn't take a fight against a Mexican on 2 weeks' notice. We know how they're built. They are built differently in terms of toughness, resilience. But you were there, you were boxing well, moving. Is that the type of fight you need at this stage of your career, one that will give you that seasoning before you start moving on to these major titles?
Definitely. I think that's a fight that's given me a wealth of experience in the bank to go into these title fights, to know how to go that full distance and come back and recover from certain adversities in the fights within the rounds. You need that in your mind for the bigger fights, the bigger nights, because these things can happen, and you need these competitive fights where you overcome things in the fight to know that it's really in you when it needs to be. And in these big fights, you need to draw from them experiences to come out on top.
Obviously, I don't know what injuries or anything what you sustained after the last fight, but when are you next expected out? Do you know?
Hopefully, October.
Title?
I hope so, but I can't control.
You're just happy to be active. Let's be honest.
I'm happy to be active and improving and showing different elements of my game each time, and developing into a better fighter each time. I'm adding to my game in there. I'm using these guys' experience. That was just a tough Mexican. That really he's not getting stopped to the head like that. So I just use my boxing to hurt him and keep him off. And there's certain fights out there that you're not going to be able to stop all these guys. Yeah. Sometimes you've got to know when to box, when to punch with authority, and you've got to have reserves to go down the stretch. And that was a fight where I used that experience, and I gained more experience from that for these bigger nights to come.
Absolutely. Now, it'd be daft if we didn't talk about the main man who's here in Belfast, Michael Conlan. He stood there looking like a fisherman today. I don't know what the hell that hat's about, but unbelievable. All right, talk to me about this fight though. He's going in there with someone who's got more knockouts than he's had fights, someone who is durable and will take him into deep waters. How impressed have you been with him in camp, bouncing back off what was a devastating loss to Lee Wood?
I'm always impressed with him. His mindset's just different. He's one of these people that his competitive mind, in everything he does, he wants to come out on top. And they're the people you can't stop. You know, any bits of adversity that you face, he's going to strive forward. He's going to become a better fighter, a better person, mentally stronger, and that's the person he is. And he's obviously come with his little bit of spice with the hat, bit of Michael Conlan, salt and pepper, seasoning.
Don't even class it as that. It ain't seasoning.
He's good. He's sauce. That's it. Bit of Conlan's sauce, but he's ready. He's ready to. He's going into the deep end again. You know, This isn't. He's not one of them fighters. You know, I want to come back fight. I want this. He's ready to compete at all times with the best. And this is a fight where more knockouts than mixed had fights. This is a tough competitor, and this is what really drives Mick. This is what motivates him to compete against the best, and that's what he's doing this weekend.
Can he become world champion?
Most definitely. We've seen you've seen glimpses of what he can do. He's very, very advanced technically, and he's putting the pieces of the puzzle together. He's learning each and every fight, and it's just a matter of time now. I think he's there already. It's just, you know, the little pieces of the puzzle, and time, and I think it's on the verge. I think it will happen, you know, this year or early next year. I think it's destiny. You know.
Let's see. Harlem, look, thanks for talking to Into Boxing. I always appreciate you giving us some of your time. We look forward to seeing you back out again, and we'll catch up shortly.
Nice one. Thanks very much, mate.